Here's another opinion piece. Do you think that the convention that 45 wants to have is going to be worse, or is it going to be useless? In my opinion, it's going to be both. With each passing day, it's becoming more obvious that the old-school packed hall national political convention the squatter is forcing his party to undertake, despite the inconvenience, cost, and risk, may have to be cancelled or scaled back, lest it become a supervised version of the Klan rally fiasco that 45 had in Tulsa, Oklahoma. First of all, thanks to 45's decision to yank key parts of the convention from its original sites in Charlotte, financing the event has become a struggle, as the New York Times reports. The abrupt uprooting of the Repug National Convention from Charlotte to Jacksonville has created a tangled financial predicament for party officials as they effectively try to pay for two big events instead of one. Tens of millions of dollars have already been spent in a city that will now host little more than GOP business meeting, and donors are wary of opening their wallets again to a bankroll a Jacksonville gathering thrown into uncertainty by a surge in the coronavirus cases. That will be why it's worse. The financial situation has been exacerbated by the second big problem. 45 has moved his convention from a coronavirus frying pan to the coronavirus wildfire. In Jacksonville, the fundraisers are describing the process as the most difficult that they have ever confronted. Florida has been setting daily records for the new coronavirus cases, freezing money as donors wait and worry about the safety risks of the pandemic. I don't want to encourage people getting sick, said Stanley S. Hubbard, who's a Minnesota billionaire who has donated more than $2 billion to help Republicans, including 45 since the beginning of the 2016 election. Unless this thing goes away, I think it will be a bad choice, he said. The third big problem is that people associated with 45 are now beginning to hint that the convention itself could go away, or at least be held under conditions similar to the virtual convention Democrats moved toward early in their pandemic. On Sunday, 45 appointed FDA Commissioner Dr. Stephen Hahn and said that it was too early to tell if Florida will be a safe place to host a Republican National Convention. There's even a canary in the coal mine that might tell us pretty soon if 45's Jacksonville dreams will be dashed. The Texas Republican Convention that is supposed to happen in Houston this month, per the Texas Tribune, Houston Mayor Sylvester Turner has officially asked Texas Republicans to call up the convention and warned that if the party decides to push ahead, city health inspectors will be allowed to shut down the event if local guidelines aren't followed. The Texas GOP's executive committee recently voted 40-20 to go ahead with their plans for a live convention. The Texas Democrats, more prudently, held a virtual event last month. It's also possible, of course, that 45 is so enamored of the kind of convention he wants that he will push on with it despite the risk of delegates not showing up, or worse yet, attending a super spreader event that makes a lot of people sick and he doesn't give a shit. What makes this whole convoluted mess particularly dubious is that there are growing signs it won't do 45 much good, even if it comes off precisely as planned. As Geoffrey Skelly explains at 538, the ideal of a convention bounce for either party's candidate may be outdated. The convention bounces have been getting smaller, which is likely a byproduct of how polarized our politics have become. There are just fewer swinger votes or swing votes, so it's harder for a candidate to attract support outside of his or her core base of the supporters. Beyond that, of course, the very idea of the convention as stage-managed infomercials that dominate the airwaves with positive messaging could be dead wrong. And for this particular year, unless the coronavirus really does miraculously vanish between now and late August, 45's big acceptance Klan speech is scheduled for August 27th. The risk the GOP has taken will get a lot of attention, even if the worst doesn't happen, and the pandemic and its economic impact will probably rob both conventions of the kind of obsessive media attention they typically get. So Republicans should have stuck with Charlotte and moved to a largely virtual convention that would have been far safer and likely more effective from the party's point of view. As it is, the whole event may simply demonstrate how the squatter's narcissism is the GOP's real, if inadvertent, re-election messages other than racism.